Thank you for the chance to present our center, and our center is called Center for Information Discovery and Data Analytics, CIDDA, at RMIT University. And let me just go like so. The mission of our center is to basically bring a concentration of research in a broad area of human-centered data science. And we work collaboratively with our industry and government partners, and we focus also on research translation. So with regards to the characteristics, the unique characteristics of CIDDA is a lot of our research really placed in the intersection of data analytics and systems to make this analytics work. And also users, so understanding users' behavior, and so there's a lot of things to do with user analytics as well. Now, it actually brings a wide range of expertise from big data, machine learning, information retrieval, maths and stats, spatial computing, and IoT and sensor data. Now, if I'm going to show you a couple of phases, we actually have 26 members as of today, and if you see some of the expertise tags, it's pretty wide ranging. So we have people working on IR, we have people working in databases and text mining, in multimedia, in optimization, in NLP and dialogue interaction, in spatial temporal data, in time series and deep learning and so on. So here are some of the phases, and I'd like to just go through a couple of key research areas in our center and present some of the active projects. So I don't have time to present all of them, but here are just a couple of the flavor research. So one major concentration of research excellence in our center is on information access, recommendation, and retrieval systems. Actually, with regards to IR, I think we can probably say we are we rank first in Australia in this field. So in terms of fundamental research in this area, it's to do with in optimizing the experience of users of search and recommender systems. And in here, we actually have a lot of projects funded and also done in collaboration with the big firms, including Google, Microsoft, and so on, and also a local firm like Seek, for example, in terms of job search, and also this, smart devices. Now, this is an example of a work that has just been completed. So our colleagues, Lawrence and Damiano, the focus of their work is on spoken conversation, basically Q&A system with spoken conversation interaction, and also interactive information search using speech interfaces. And there are a lot of different collaboration in this space, but just highlighting this, for example, the inference solution, they actually help inference solution to train a virtual intelligent assistant that is used in a lot of call centers, and they have also released a patent. Real Thing as well is actually has been purchased. It's been acquired by another company. That's also then that company was recently acquired by, as far as I know, is by Zoom. So a lot of our work has had far-reaching impact. This is another work that I'm part of. So it's a large multidisciplinary team in terms of computer science discipline, I would say, because it involves people from IR, from my area, which is intersection of ubiquitous computing and data science and mobile computing, and recommender systems and HCI. So this is Microsoft RMIT Cortana Intelligence Institute, which was established with Microsoft research funding in I think 2018 or early 2019 after competitive research. So there was a competitive research call, and they actually picked only one institute to establish this, and that was RMIT. So it's designed to build a next generation virtual assistant to actually help to understand workers in their daily working life, and their interaction with the digital tools, let's say what they use in Office 365. Now, there's a lot of papers, and there was also a pending patent on this work that's ongoing. Now, another concentration of great research that's happening in our center is on the area of FATE, fairness, accountability, transparency, and ethics of data, algorithms, and systems. Now, in this area, we actually the host organization of the ARC Centre of Excellence in Automated Decision Making in Society, and RMIT is also the home of ABC Fact Check. So in Automated Decision Making Society, this was a new COE announced late last year. It's a $32 million research center with multiple partners. And there are 4 programs: data, machines, people, and institution. And the computer scientists here and the data scientists make up only about 30% of the center members. The rest are mainly social scientists and legal and ethics people across institutes. And the large number of the computer science and data scientists that work in the center actually are at RMIT. And these are the projects that we're working on. So measuring bias and engagement, building a considerate and fair recommender systems, designing machines that are transparent, explainable, and debiased. And lastly, this is a project done in collaboration with Melbourne Uni, which is multi-factor, multi-party, privacy-preserving, automated decision-making system. So we have a sub-lab within CIDDA, which is RMIT Fact Lab. So RMIT Fact Lab is a cross-disciplinary collaboration between data scientists and fact-checking experts. ABC, so ABC journalists actually sit in our RMIT Fact Lab too. So if you actually have received Corona fact-checking newsletters, the investigation of misinformation is actually, there's a lot of contribution by my colleagues such as Folk scholar Damiano Spina and Jenny Chang actually on the work in collaboration with Fact Check. So going into that as well, then this is the work by Jenny Chang that is funded by ARC Discovery on fake news detection, and also by Defense Science Institute on news question answering, and also on rumor detection. There's also a large concentration of research in spatial temporal, mobility, multimedia, multimodal, big data research. Now, why is this an important research? Because, well, there's a lot of this data available now with proliferation of IoT and sensor data in cities. And a couple of research that I like to share is, this is an ongoing research by my colleague Chifeng Bao on management of large-scale trajectory data and relational data in collaboration with Alibaba, Damo, and PingCap. So this includes things like, you know, if you have really large-scale spatial temporal trajectory data, and you need to have efficient transport planning or resource allocation or placement, how do you do it in a very efficient manner? This is a work funded. This is my project in collaboration with Mornington Peninsula Shire, funded by the Smarter Cities and Suburb program, which is basically a project on open data and open predictive analytics for trip recommendations and for parking, for smart parking. So in this project, we deliver algorithms to predict parking trends and also violation. And what was interesting about it, we actually only managed to get the sensor installed in early 2020 in February, and we had the lockdown in March. So a lot of the prediction methods, the typical regression techniques do not work well because, and also even if you use large-scale data, because the behavior is very uncertain. So we did a lot of transfer learning with data from other cities. So there are a couple of papers on this as well, and the open data portal is going to be released soon. This is also ongoing work funded by Qatar NPRP. So this is my project with Hamid Manoa and Du Yong Kim, where we actually leveraging multiple sensors from UAV as well as from complementary urban sensors for crowd monitoring. So the focus is basically monitoring situations in cities for security for mega events such as FIFA World Cup that will be held in Doha, hopefully, if it's not going to be cancelled. And we delivered efficient crowd counting algorithm using low resolution images in combination also with spatial temporal data to deliver early event prediction algorithm. Another work that is being done right now by my colleague, Emily Cho, is basically on big multimedia analysis. And this is funded by ARC Discovery and also by Data 61. So can you actually perform anomaly detection of large-scale events using data coming from Twitter, from all kind of social media, and also videos, streams of videos that are shared on social media. This is a project by Matt Duckham and myself, part of the project, and others in the university, which is a defense project on explainable spatial reasoning, combining input from multiple senses. So explainability here is so important because they need to come up with defense to be able to explain rigorously how to treat certain events if there is a high level of uncertainty. So this also contributes to trustworthy modeling of input. Now, another stream of research areas is basically on sensor stream analytics from multiple time series. And this is my project with a couple of colleagues from Cambridge and as well as from Waterloo it's funded by Discovery on multi-resolution behavior recognition from heterogeneous time series. So some of the recent exciting work that came out of this project was first is a paper where we propose a self-supervised learning technique that can detect anomalies without any use of labels. So it becomes the state of the art of anomaly detection in the field. And this one most recently was accepted for KDD, which is cough classification, so COVID-19 related cough symptoms using audio data record that are not labeled. And so we trained the data without labeled data, but then we managed to come up with very effective prediction performance. This is a project by Jeffrey Chen and Xiaodong Li on detecting fuel leak at service stations. It's an ARC linkage project. This is a project also an ARC linkage project that I'm involved in with architects and engineers on trying to understand occupant behavior indoors with a lot of different sensor data. The sensor data is actually now has been shared publicly. We also have a new funding from Victorian government on digitization of COVID-safe workspaces. We have done a lot of work on the future of workspaces, so understanding workers' productivity in different areas. So in this one, the extension of the work is looking at the safety of people at workspaces when they start returning to work by combining airflow monitoring and people movement monitoring. Also, we have a new linkage project funded in collaboration with Lenovo on 5G networks, so looking at analysis of stream data. Digital health is another area of expertise. So we have projects on digital health by Telstra Health and looking at electronic health records, trying to make explainable models and trying to improve the coding quality in collaboration with Cabrini Health. These are done by my colleagues. And also works on photonics for improved biological microscopy. All right. Sorry, David, give me your time. Just 2 slides. So we, as I mentioned before earlier, I think our research in this area is world class, evidenced by the leadership in these top conferences. So we're the general co-chair and program co-chair in these recent conferences. As you can see on your screen, from Wisdom CIR Chair, you become CIKM. And these are some of our external partners that I just discussed before. And my final slide, future challenges, opportunities. We love to talk with anyone who like to collaborate with us to solve grand challenges around specific industry sectors. And I've already mentioned some of the examples of our projects in this area. And an open challenge that we have that you might have as well. PhD and postdoc recruitment these days is a challenge with the borders being closed. So how to share open opportunities better? Can we actually exchange students, for example? So here's something for discussion. Thank you.